I'll keep playing. Genesis 23. And the life of Sarah came to be 127 years, the years of the life of Sarah. And Sarah died in Kiriath-arba. The same is Hebron, in the land of Canaan. And Abraham went in to wail for Sarah and to weep for her. And Abraham rose up from over the face of his dead, and spake unto the sons of Heth, saying, A sojourner and settler am I with you. Give me a possession of a burying place with you, that I may bury my dead from before me. And the sons of Heth answered Abraham, saying to him, Hear us, my lord, a prince of God art thou in our midst, in the choice of our burying places. Bury thy dead. Not a man from among us his burying place will withhold from thee from burying thy dead. And Abraham rose up, and bowed himself down to the people of the land, to the sons of Heth, and spake with them, saying, If it is with the consent of your minds that I should bury my dead from before me, hear me and intercede for me with Hephron, son of Zohar, that he would give me the cave of Machpelah, which pertaineth unto him, which is within the bounds of his field. For full silver let him give it me in your midst, for a possession of a burying place. Now Ephron was sitting in the midst of the sons of Heth. So Ephron the Hittite responded to Abraham in the ears of the sons of Heth, even all that were entering the gate of the city, saying, Nay, my lord, hear me, the field have I given to thee, and the cave that is therein to thee have I given it. In the eyes of the sons of my people have I given it thee, bury thy dead. So Abraham bowed himself down before the people of the land, and spake unto Ephron in the ears of the people of the land, saying, Only if thou wouldst hear me, I have given the silver of the field, take it of me, that I may bury my dead here. And Ephron responded to Abraham, saying to him, My lord, hear me, land worth 400 shekels of silver. Betwixt me and thee, what is that? And thy dead bury thou. And Abraham hearkeneth unto Ephron, and Abraham weigheth out to Ephron the silver of which he had spoken in the ears of the sons of God, 400 shekels of silver, current with the merchant. So was confirmed the field of Ephron, which is in Machpelah, which is before Mamre, the field and the cave which is therein, and all the timber which was in the field, which was in all the boundary wherein round about. To Abraham as a purchase in the eyes of the sons of Heth, with all who were entering the gates of the city. And after this did Abraham bury Sarah his wife, where in this cave of the field of Machpelah, over against Mamre. The same is Hebron, in the land of Canaan. So was confirmed the field with the cave which was therein to Abraham, for a possession of a burying place from the sons of Heth. Genesis 24. Now Abraham was old, far gone in days, and Yahweh had blessed Abraham in all things. So Abraham said unto his servant, elder of his house, ruler of all that he had, Place, I pray thee, thy hand upon my thigh, that I may put thee on oath by Yahweh God of the heavens, of God of the earth, that thou wilt not take a wife for my son from among the daughters of the Canaanites, in the midst of whom I am dwelling, but upon my own land, and unto my own kindred wilt go. So shalt thou take a wife for my son, for Isaac. And the servant said unto him, Peradventure the woman may not be willing to follow me into this land. May I take back thy son into the land from whence thou earnest? And Abraham said unto him, Beware that thou do not take back my son thither. Yahweh, God of the heavens and God of the earth, who took me out of the house of my father, and out of the land of my kindred, and who spake to me, and who sware to me, saying, To thy seed will I give this land, he will send his messenger before thee. So shalt then take a wife for my son from thence. But if unwilling be the woman to follow thee, then shalt thou be clear from this mine oath. Only my son shalt thou not take back thither. So the servant placed his hand under the thigh of Abraham his lord, and sware to him over this thing. Then took the servant 10 camels from among the camels of his lord, and went his way, all the goods of his master being in his hand. So he mounted and went his way unto Mesopotamia, unto the city of Nahor. And he made the camels kneel down outside the city against the well of the water, at the time of the evening, at the time of the coming forth of the women that drew water. Then he said, O Yahweh God of my lord Abraham, I pray thee cause it to fall out before me today, that thou deal in loving kindness with my lord Abraham. Here am I stationed by the fountain of water, and the daughters of the men of the city are coming forth to draw water. So it shall come to pass that the young woman, unto whom I shall say, Let down, pray, thy pitcher, that I may drink. And she shall say, Drink, and to thy camels also will I give to drink. That her hast thou appointed for thy servant, for Isaac. And hereby shall I get to know that thou hast dealt in loving kindness with my lord. And it came to pass, ere yet he had done speaking, that lo, Rebekah was coming forth, who had been born to Bethuel, son of Milcah, wife of Nahor, brother of Abraham, with her pitcher upon her shoulder. Now the young woman was of very pleasing appearance, a virgin whom no man had known. And she went down onto the fountain, and filled her pitcher, and came up. And the servant ran to meet her, and said, I pray thee, let me drink a little water out of thy pitcher. And she said, Drink, my lord. And she hastened and lowered her pitcher on her hand, and let him drink. And when she had done giving him drink, she said, For thy camels also will I draw, until they have done drinking. So she hastened and emptied her pitcher into the drinking trough, and ran again unto the well to draw. And she drew for all the camels. Now the man was eagerly watching her, keeping silent, to see whether Yahweh had prospered his way or not. And it came to pass, when the camels had done drinking, that the man took a ring of gold, half a shekel its weight, and 2 bracelets for her hands, 10 of gold their weight, and said, Whose daughter art thou? I pray thee, tell me. Is there in the house of thy father a place for us to tarry the night? And she said unto him, Daughter of Bethuel am I, Bethuel son of Milcah, whom she bare to Nahor. And she said unto him, Both straw and fodder in plenty have we, also a place to tarry the night. And the man bowed his head and bent himself down unto Yahweh, and said, Blessed be Yahweh, God of my lord Abraham, whom hath not withdrawn his loving kindness and his faithfulness from my lord. I being in the way, Yahweh led me unto the house of the brethren of my lord. And the young woman ran and told the household of her mother according to these words. Now Rebekah had a brother whose name was Laban. So Laban ran unto the man outside unto the fountain. And it came to pass, when he saw the ring and the bracelets on the hands of his sister, and when he heard the words of Rebekah his sister, saying, Thus did the man speak unto me, that he came unto the man, and lo, he was standing by the camels near the fountain. And he said, Come in, thou blessed of Yahweh. Wherefore shouldst thou stand outside, when I have made ready the house and a place for the camels? So the man came in towards the house and ungirded the camels. And there was given him straw and fodder for the camels. And water was bathing his own feet and the feet of the men who were with him. And food was set before him to eat. But he said, I cannot eat until I have spoken my words. And he said, Speak. Then said he, Servant of Abraham am I. Now Yahweh hath blessed my lord exceedingly, and made him great, and given him flocks and herds and silver and gold, and menservants and maidservants and camels and asses. Then did Sarah, wife of my lord, bear a son to my lord. And after she became old, so he gave to him all that he had. And my lord put me an oath, saying, Thou shalt not take a wife for my son of the daughters of the Canaanites, in whose land I am dwelling. But unto the house of my father shalt thou go, and unto my family, and take a wife for my son. So I said unto my lord, Peradventure the woman will not follow me. And he said unto me, Yahweh, before whom I have walked to and fro, will send his messenger with thee. So shall be prosper thy way, and thou shalt take a wife for my son out of the kindred, and out of the house of my father. Then shalt thou clear thyself from mine oath, For thou shalt go in unto my kindred, and if they will not grant her unto thee, then shalt thou be clear from mine oath. So I came in today unto the fountain, and I said, O Yahweh, God of my lord Abraham, if I pray thee thou art prospering my way, whereon am going, here am I stationed by the fountain of water. So then it shall come to pass, the maiden that is coming forth to draw, and I shall say unto her, Let me drink, and I pray thee a little water out of thy pitcher. And she shall say unto me, Both thou drink, and for thy camels also, and will I draw, the same shall be the woman whom Yahweh hath appointed for the son of my Lord. Ere yet I could make an end of speaking unto my own heart, lo, then Rebekah came forth with her pitcher on her shoulder, and she went down to the fountain and drew. And I said unto her, Let me drink, and I pray thee. So she hastened and lowered her pitcher off her, and said, Drink, and to thy camels also will I give to drink. So I drank, and the camels also she let drink. Then I asked her, and said, Whose daughter art thou? And she said, Daughter of Bethuel, son of Nahor, whom Milcah bare to him. Then put the ring upon her nose, and the bracelets upon her hands, and bowed my head, and bent myself down unto Yahweh. And I blessed Yahweh, God of my lord Abraham, who had led me in a way of faithfulness, to take the daughter of the brother of my Lord for his son. Now therefore, if ye are dealing in loving kindness and faithfulness with my Lord, tell me. And if not, tell me, then I may turn onto the right hand, or onto the left. Then answered Laban and Bethuel, and said, From Yahweh hath come forth the word, we cannot speak unto thee ill or well. Go, Rebekah is before thee, take her and go thy way, and let her become the wife unto the son of thy Lord, as Yahweh hath spoken. And it came to pass, when Abraham's servant heard these words, that he bowed himself down toward the earth unto Yahweh. Then the servant brought forth jewels of silver and jewels of gold and raiment, and gave unto Rebekah, and precious things gave he to her brother and to her mother. And they did eat and drink he, and the men who were with him, and they tarried the night. And when they arose in the morning, he said, Let me go unto my Lord. Then said her brother and her mother, Let the younger woman remain with us some days, or rather 10. After that she shall go. And he said unto them, Do not hinder me, when Yahweh hath prospered my journey. Let me go, that I may take my journey unto my Lord. Then said they, We must call the young woman, and ask at her mouth. So they called Rebekah, and said unto her, Wilt thou go with this man? And she said, I will go. So they led Rebekah their sister and her nurse, and Abraham's servant and his men. And they blessed Rebekah, and said to her, Our sister, become thou thousands of 10,000s, and let thy seed possession of the gate of them that hate them. Then mounted Rebekah and her young woman, and they rode upon the camels and followed the man. So the servant took Rebekah and went his way. Now Isaac had come in at the entrance of Bir Lahai-roi, for he was dwelling in the land of the south. And Isaac came forth to meditate in the field at the approach of the evening. So he lifted up his eyes and looked, and lo, camels coming in. And Rebekah lifted up her eyes and saw Isaac. So she alighted with haste from off the camel, and said unto the servant, Who is this man that is walking in the field to meet us? And the servant said, That is my Lord. So she took the veil and covered herself. And the servant recounted to Isaac all the things which he had done. And Isaac brought her into the tent of Sarah his mother. Thus he took Rebekah, and she became his wife, and he loved her. And Isaac consoled himself for the loss of his mother. This is the word of God.